Welcome to HQAF Radio. I'm Alana.
And I'm Francis. And this is a show about two best friends. You don't even watch Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
No, I don't. I own the complete series and various manga and lots of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So many Yu-Gi-Oh cards. In fact, that it filled up an entire box. I did not realize I had that many Yu-Gi-Oh cards for a girl who does
Wow.
not play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. So
Can you sell
many.
them?
Oh gosh,
Could,
yeah, I probably should do that, shouldn't I? Oh my god, make some money.
are they worth something?
There's binders, there's tins, there's deck boxes. There's just so many various Yu-Gi-Oh things that I own. It's actually insane. I would like to transition to fan fiction. I'm dying. I did not know we would be recording this today, but I'm very excited to talk about it. I'm ready.
Okay, so this is my first question for you. For fanfiction.net, you've been keeping that up for so many years, and we all on this podcast know that you are a huge Yu-Gi-Oh stan. For all of these years, why have you only focused on Yu-Gi-Oh fanfiction?
Oh, yes, my origin story. So, as you guys have heard through the fan fiction series, I used to write fan fiction before I knew it was called fan fiction, or maybe I did, and it would just all lived in my various notebooks that I wrote with gel pens or with my computer that only had access to the printer or the floppy disk. I had a floppy disk drive, and I would just write these things, and I would go, "Wow, that was fun," and I would just keep them all. And thank God I did because now they're hilarious content for the show. But I used to write a variety of fan fiction for a variety of shows because I watched a lot of anime as a kid, and it wasn't until I think it was 11 or 12 years old when I first started my fan fiction account. And the reason why that happened was because around the time I first got like really, really into Yu-Gi-Oh was around the same time I found out about fanfiction.net. So I never knew it existed. Alana was just a budding fan fiction artist without having a name and without having a platform. And I was perfectly happy to just write these things for myself. As you guys have found through this radio show, I just like doing things because I like doing them. I like re-listening to my show because I like listening to about our friendship. And that's perfectly fine. But when I found out that there was a platform and a medium and an audience, I actually don't even think I was thinking in terms of an audience. I think I was just excited to have a place to post and keep a continuity of these stories because papers and notebooks can get lost and in the shuffle and things moved around. So I just thought, oh, this is so cool that I can have an online kind of library of my stuff. And that was just it for me. It just sealed my fate. I've never written a fan fiction for anything else.
Your first ones, you started with Dragon Ball Z, and then you got into Yu-Gi-Oh, and so you have other ships in your
Yeah.
back pocket. Like Carol and Daryl is another big ship. For those of you who don't know, Carol and Daryl are characters from the comic book series, The Walking Dead, but also the TV show, which is how Alana got into them. And she loved their brother sister relationship, even though when you look at the entire series, their relationship isn't the main part of the series. Like it's just like these little bits here and there, but it's not the main point of anything. But you never wrote a fan fiction about that, did you?
No, I didn't. I just did that one video contest that we submitted for, and that was it. And yeah, I've never felt very compelled, but that is another good and interesting point that I do fixate specifically within the realm of Yu-Gi-Oh fan fiction. All of my stories, all 85 of them that are published online, are centered around or a key component or key plot line is about the Kyber brothers. You know, instead of Kaiba is the main antagonist character and a main character within Yu-Gi-Oh, but his relationship with his brother is just a subplot. Mokuba is clearly a foil character. He is just an accessory to Seto. That much is very much known. And so any plot line that involves Mokuba is not a main plot line to the show at all. If anything, it's just lazy writing to get Seto somehow seemingly involved in the main plot, but that's it. He's just used as a tool. He's a means to an end. I saw that relationship and I thought that's 85 stories worth, so half of which are multi-chapter stories.
But even your latest fan fiction, Wingman, which you are
Yeah.
actively still working on, granted, it's been what, 2 or 3 years that you've been working this, you still gravitate towards it even now in adulthood. What keeps you writing this fan fiction, especially this particular Brother Flush fan fiction. Well, no, is Wingman even Brother Fluff? Girl, I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel like I should know.
You're not even a real stan. How dare you not be properly?
Hold on. Can I pull something from my memory and hope that this is it?
Yes, please.
Is it Joey becoming Seto's assistant or something? His wingman?
Yes, that is the overall direction it's going in. Kind of. They have a dating competition. Well, they get there. They hate each other, and this whole story is about them becoming friends in unforeseen and seemingly impossible circumstances because these two characters hate each other. And I very much hate Joey. So it's a new little challenge I took for myself. But Mokba is still a key component to the plot line. He is pushing that plot forward. This is only happening because something is happening with Mokba. Otherwise, this would not even be on the table. Because obviously, that's where my interests lie. Obviously.
I listened to you. See, like that I kind of knew what happened. I knew Joey was in there. It could have been like a slew of other characters, like Yugi or something like that.
Duke, the time I showed you a picture of Bakura and you go, "Oh, is that Duke?" I'm like, "Oh no. Oh no." Francis, you got to know what the characters look like. I'm sorry. It's like, "Oh, is that Taya?" That's Tristan. That's a totally different character. How dare you? Wait, sorry. What was your original question? Why do I
It's
still
like, yeah,
gravitate
so
towards him?
let's focus on Wingman, for instance. Like,
Yeah.
you could totally write a different fan fiction around different characters, right? You're at a point in your life, Alana, you're 30. You're at
Yeah.
this point in your life where you've probably evolved as a writer over time. So, why do you continue to write in this particular universe with these characters? It's been a while since I've seen Yu Gi Oh! The first season or however long ago that is, but it's a show made for kids. The characters themselves, they're not very complex. So why continue to write and build novels around this particular set of characters? You as a writer, I'm imagining you have the ability to create more characters and give them some depth and development.
So, on the one hand, yes, I do agree with the sentiment that Yu-Gi-Oh is not the best anime out there. There are way better animes with much more in-depth and complex plot lines and characters and just general themes and ideas and characters. I know that for a fact. It's not a really great show. It's actually probably one of the worst ones out there.
Well, and the thing is, anime has also evolved over time, right?
Oh, so much.
Now you've got really mature animes that you can draw on. You and I both love Full Metal Alchemist, and even though the demographic is sort of tweenish, like young adultish, it's
Yeah.
still a very good story overall, especially Brotherhood, not the first one where the ending kind of sucks, but Brotherhood was just a masterpiece. And you can point to other ones too, where the storyline is just very mature, the characters are very fleshed out and well thought of, and from start to finish, it's just a very good anime. So, what has continued to pull you in about Yugi in his cast of characters that you want to continue writing about them?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's a fair point. Anime has matured as I have as a 30-year-old woman, and yet I still gravitate towards this. Now, the reason why I think I gravitate towards Yu Gi Oh! Is because it isn't fleshed out. Like, Full Metal Alchemist is a very full series. There are
Yeah.
many things that happen. It's a totally alternate universe with alternate sciences and logic and things that go on. And the author does a wonderful job of telling that story and having a fully complete ending. But that doesn't give me wiggle room to explore the characters because she does the work. She did it.
Mm,
Like, we
yeah.
know it. We know where all these characters stand because she fully displays it. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh is so lazily done that there is a green field. There's a sea of opportunity of what we could explore. And so that's one thing. Now we can switch gears and go, okay, but your girl wrote Dragon Ball Z fan fiction, wrote G Gundam fan fiction, wrote Pokemon fan fiction, which are all lazily done. There's lots of opportunity of the shows I watched as a kid that present that sea of opportunity for me to go upon. Now, why does that mean of all the shitty animes I could write fan fiction about, I gravitate towards Yu-Gi-Oh? And I think the reason is that even though Mokuba is my favorite character, if you just look at it plainly, he's very one dimensional. Even though he is my favorite character, The most interesting character to me and multi-dimensional and just lots to explore and delve into is Seto. And so I feel like while the show itself is not very evolved and very complex and very interesting, I think Seto is a very interesting character.
Mm.
And even Kazuki Takahashi said, I based the character of Seto off of this guy I went to college with who just had this total inferiority complex. And he was really rich and he was a total jerk, but he was also really brilliant. I just think he's an incredibly interesting character that the
Oh,
show in 5 seasons really doesn't do it justice. Even though they have a whole season that wasn't even in the manga that is essentially considered filler. It's not real season 2 with the whole Noah arc and his whole backstory about being adopted and the stepbrother and whatever. That never happened in the manga. That wasn't even real. But it was so interesting. It's one of my favorite seasons because it's about him, and they just slightly open the door of possibilities of what this character is about and the
yeah.
complexities of his personality and his backstory and what's led him to being the way he is. And then they just shut the door because they're like, okay, back to playing fucking Duel Monsters. And we don't get to know the whole story. So I think for me, the true journey is really finding out more about him because he is such a complex character, which means that it's very easy to misunderstand him and to write him wrong. And so that's
Yeah.
why I think in my mind, I can build a little bit of a timeline and there's just little nuggets of information and let me go and explore this character.
That reminds me of a fan fiction author that I was following. God, what was his name again? Random Lead or something like that. But anyways, Neon Genesis Evangelion was my first anime that I really got into after Pokemon and Gundam and Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. But this was the one where I was really transfixed into the lore because it gets really deep. When I got into it, I was at the age where I was like, wow, this stuff is really cool, trying to understand more mature concepts. And so when I found him and his writing really spoke to me, I followed him from high school. And I remember finding his profile around that time because that was also around like 9/11. And so it's just a weird time. And it followed me into college. And I remember reading one of his last ones that he had done before he'd gone silent. And he had actually completely switched from Neon Genesis Evangelion to God, I can't even remember the anime. It is a harem anime with this guy who is the manager and he's looking after a girls' dorm. And he takes this very light-hearted harem anime. And for those of you who don't know, a harem anime is not like this guy fucking like all these girls, though in some animes that is the case.
Yeah.
It's literally like at its core, it's just a bunch of girls pining after this one guy, and that's what this particular show was about. And he takes a different spin on it. And one of the very last ones I remember him writing was actually a horror fan fiction where one of the girls goes crazy and starts killing all of them.
God.
And yeah, but he completely like turns that story. He takes that concept and just turns it around. And so I felt like him as a writer, he started off as just writing about Neon Genesis and just writing into the universe. But then as he matured, he just took these concepts and he took these characters and he pushed it even further. What if you had this harem place, but then what if one of them just goes crazy and you just write around it and you are still part of the universe? You still love and appreciate the universe, but you're able to take these aspects, these stories, these well established pieces of lore and
Yeah.
playing with that as a novelist. I think I get what you're saying here. There's so many plugins with Yu-Gi-Oh! That you as a writer are able to focus on specific parts of it. In this case, Seto's character, Seto's sort of backstory that there's just so many gaps in. And you can just write to that and imagine different scenarios. And that's why you like coming back to it.
There's just many stones that are unturned, right? So many possibilities with Yu-Gi-Oh! And I hope that you'll speak as emphatically about my work once I start my audio series as you have about this author. I did want to note too, so you had also asked me a question about why Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? Of all the animes, shitty or not, why this one specifically? But you had also asked me why at 30 years old, you're a big adult now, you got a job, you got lots of things going on in your personal life and your professional life. And what is it at this age that you're getting from this. There are just other things, right? There's plenty of greenfield now that I'm a more mature writer, now that I have a wide range of vocabulary words I can use.
And part of it is just like you have been following this since you were like 13. Yu-Gi-Oh is literally not the only series that you've watched, and
Yeah.
you stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know. Yeah.
The only seasons that Yu-Gi was even in there was like 3 or 4, right? And then it turns into Dice Monsters or whatever.
Exactly. Yes, and there's multiple sequel series, like I think 7 or 8 now. I don't even know all of the names of them anymore. They're all so ridiculous. The only Yu-Gi-Oh series I write fan fiction about is the original one, the very first one. But I would say that the reason why I still write fan fiction at 30 years old is that I truly think it's a comfort thing for me. I've been living in this universe for 17 plus years. And so it's easy for me to go and just get out my creative juices and to just exercise that part of me, that writing side of me, without having to think too much. I could go and sit down and write a proper novel and a proper fiction piece. There's like plenty of different aspects of writing that I could do, but it just feels so casual because it's a universe I've lived in. I know it, I know the mechanics, and so it's almost more effortless. If I were to go and sit down and really write a fiction piece, I'd really have to think through it, and I'd want to plot it out, and then I would be really judging myself because I think, okay, well, this, that, the other have to match up. Do they match up? Because here's this whole new character. I've been marinating on these same characters for over 20 years. And so there's definitely a comfort value. Sometimes I feel like going and making a home cooked meal, and then sometimes I just feel like doing takeout, and that's what it is. It's quick and easy, and then I get to exercise that creative side of me without getting too, not involved, but just it's a lot more work. Like you have to exercise a little bit more, whereas these muscles are very toned. That's a better example. It's like working out. It's like when my personal trainer said, I just want you to sit down and stand up, not squats, just sit down and stand up. And so Yu-Gi-Oh was sitting down and standing up, whereas writing a proper fiction novel would be like squats. And sometimes I just feel like sitting down and standing up.
You've been sitting down and standing up for 17 years now.
Exactly, yeah. But all the while, like, not to say that I haven't done anything with my writing career. Like, I've been writing plenty of various things, some personal ventures, but mostly professional stuff. But I feel like it brings me joy, and it's easy to do, and it's not anything I have to think about. So I can get out that creative juice and just feel good, get all of the warm fuzzies and things I need without thinking too hard about it. And one day I will go and write that killer novel, but there's just a lot going on, and there's a lot of other projects that I'm working on, and sometimes I want to write about a show from fucking 20 years ago that's shitty and no one's watched for an audience that says, oh, that's cool, and that's the review, and that's fine. Because writing fan fiction has always been for me. And they do say in the writing community, like, you should always write for yourself. When you're writing, you should write in a way that makes sense for the audience. You can't just add things that don't make sense. And you should write for a wider audience, or you can be more, specific if you want to be, but you should try and be like inclusive of everyone so that they understand and they can follow through. But you should always, at your core and at your foundation, write for yourself, because you're the one extending the effort. Expanding? No, what am I trying to something?
You're the one working, right? Yeah, you're the one.
Yeah, you're the one doing the work. Yeah, you're using your energy to go and put something into the universe. So you should write something you like. If you write something you don't like, or if you're doing something that's for other people and not for yourself, like, you're not going to enjoy it, and it's honestly going to come out like shit. That's like rule number 1 of writing 101. You should always first and foremost write things that you enjoy and that you would read, because that's what's going to resonate with people. And so I've always written Yu-Gi-Oh fan fiction. Like, when I found out about fanfiction.net, I just posted that shit directly to the internet, didn't really care. Still don't. Thought I had more followers, but we discovered I didn't. But that's okay, because I don't care. Because I just do it for me. This is truly like just a comforting little activity that I do for myself, much like sitting and standing or watching Teen Mom 2.
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes you just need to give your brain a chance to just reset, do something mindless, do something for yourself, and then Sometimes that's okay.
Exactly. And there's a comfort in living in a universe that you find comforting. Catherine sent me recently, actually, this mental health professional was talking about people who deal with anxiety or may have trauma or are dealing with PTSD will watch and rewatch shows from their childhood because there's a certain comfort in knowing how things are going to go.
Yeah.
And it brings you comfort just in rewatching something you enjoy and not having to expand your imagination by learning something new. I'm not against learning. I love learning, but sometimes you just want to unwind and watch something where you know what's going to happen. That's your comfort zone. Some people rewatch shows or some people imagine a place that they really enjoy that brings them solace. And I go to the Yu-Gi-Oh universe. That's okay. To each their own. So I've logged into my fan fiction, which I log into my fan fiction to exclusively publish a new chapter when I have one, which there hasn't been one in 6 months, so it's been a minute. I do have my fan fiction stats, but I'll wait till the end of the episode to reveal those. We'll tease that and let the listeners keep listening on. There is a feature of inbox or outbox. There's a message from when Funyuns stole my tweet and started using it in their marketing, and someone found my fan fiction and was like, "Are you aware that Funyuns took one of your tweets? I just saw it and it was so surreal. Wow, Funyuns, like, thank you for the promo because I think you got my fan fiction account some like clout." God. Wow, I can't believe I gave them shit. I was so naive back then. I was like, "Give me money." Bitch, you're getting a shout out. You're getting free publicity. How dare you? Do you remember that whole exchange?
I do. And you actually got a chest full of Funyuns, right?
Yes, I did. And they took it down because I thought I was going to do a lawsuit. And I'm so dumb. I should have kept it up. I could have gotten my fanfiction all promoted as fuck. Because it was my LOL fanfiction Twitter account that was included in the GIF that they created based on my tweet, where they would showcase my tweet and my username. But I'm also seeing that I got a message on July 12th, 2020, from someone named Professor Blue Phoenix, saying, "Your pen name seems familiar. Have we met on here before?"
Stop.
I'm not sure.
What?
Have you been on this internet website for 17 years? Then probably, yeah.
Oh my
we
God.
may have seen each other before, sir.
Do you know him?
No, I don't recognize the username, but he could be one of my fans. And he doesn't have me favorited, so I don't know how he knows me. Oh no, he doesn't even write fanfiction. He just has favorite stories and favorite authors. So he's a lurker. Oh my God. One of his favorite authors, the username is Lover of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yaoi. So no, I'd say I don't produce content he would enjoy. So this is a mistake. We have not met on here before. I'm not putting down what he's picking up. Oh my God.
For audience, for those of you who don't know, yaoi is gay, not necessarily porn, but it's just gay characters together. And
Yes.
Sometimes it does get pornographic. But as we all know, Alana writes brother fluff, so it's definitely not anything.
It's definitely not. And I love how you say it that way to insinuate. Oh my God, the Sonic fan fiction episode, by the way, sounded so incriminating. I sounded so nervous. I'm like, oh, Francis, I don't know anything about that. And I sounded so weird. Like I for sure knew about the inner workings of the Sonic fandom. God, it makes me laugh every time I listen to it. I do want to tell you my stats. My profile stats I thought were way better than they were, and I'm a little embarrassed.
What are they? I'm super curious right now.
Oh God. So I've been on fanfiction.net for 17 years. And so in the general user stats, I am on the favorite list. So favorite list being, these are people who favorited me as an author. I'm on 189 people's favorite lists. And I'm on an author alert. An author alert is where every person who has you on author alert gets an email notification automatically whenever you update. That's 137 people. And yeah, those numbers are very small in comparison to what I thought. Maybe they seemed bigger the last time I checked, when I thought it was at least 300. I mean, I've been doing this shit for a long time. Fuck. These people suck. They don't like me at all. Going back to the whole thing that I'm someone who deeply, deeply enjoys creating content, even if it means that the content doesn't go anywhere. I enjoy the journey more than anything else. So I'll end on that note.
I'm looking at your fanfiction.net profile right now, and at least looking at your latest story at the very front. I'm not clicking into the story itself. It says drama, humor, chapters 19, words, and you've got 29 reviews so far, 29 faves, and 28 follows. So you've got a following. 29 is more than the 7 that we have.
Yeah, but look at the story below that one. My romance that has 300 reviews, and it's only a 40-chapter story. Yeah, that one was good. People like romance on this website. They're not here for the humor. Or the brother flaw, to be honest. It's just a wrong demographic I've dedicated my life to. The wrong category.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because going down the list, your family drama one got 6 reviews. One chapter was a one-shot. For those who don't know, one shot is just a small little snippet, just a small chapter. Not even a chapter, really. It's just a small story. Short story is actually the word
it's
for
just
it.
One. It's not a multi-chapter story. It's just one, conclusive story. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, the next one is romance and drama, and that got 300 reviews, and it's 50 chapters. So yeah, that's a lot. It looks like in general, though, too, aside from the romance angle, anything that has a lot of chapters seems to get a lot of reviews.
And it goes back to some of the typical marketing pillars. Everyone likes a schedule, and that helps them know when things are being posted and gets them excited. And I was posting more consistently back then.
I'm looking at your reviews for Wingman, and you've got 4 reviews for Ballet Empress.
Oh my god.
First review. I feel so empathize with Seto and Joey. Damn those siblings. You can't host a party at someone's home yet. Ask your brother about it. Ask him yourself, Serenity.
Okay, no one said these people were intelligent reading my stories, okay? Wow. Way to drag me, Francis. That my story doesn't, appeal to the high comedians of the internet. Wait, but can we continue? I love this random fanfiction review segment.
Oh, man. If you're trying to build your fanfiction.net gathering, we'll have to take this off the air. We can't just drag your reviewers, but I do love reading your reviews right now.
Yeah, Ballet Empress apparently deep in this story. She comes up a lot. I didn't even realize.
Scrolling a little bit further down, 2018. 3 are the same message but different people, and it looks like spam. Hello, fellow trolls. A bunch of numbers and a bunch of stuff. This will lead you to a text archive. Learn how to fuck with fanfiction writers. I mean troll, of course.
Oh my god. Jesus.
On the next page, you actually look like you have some meaningful reviews, like this Rena Redhead person.
Yeah, that's because it's Lauren. That's my friend Lauren. Like IRL friend Lauren.
Okay, but like I stan a friend that is in with your creative content. Can she be an HQAF podcast listener?
I mean, I would love that. But as you can see, she's not that much of a stan because she hasn't reviewed since 2018. Like, her last chapter is chapter 6.
True.
I love how you just glossed over, though, my review from November 10th, 2018. Okay, but biologically, Scar was definitely boinking Simba's mom and Nala while he was away. So who's the real king of the jungle? I didn't make a Lion King reference at all in my story, so I do not know what inspired this delightful review. I appreciate every review, but also, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah, some of it's spam. Another one just found this, Enjoyed it a lot. 7.8 out of 10. Not enough card games. Wow, a little psychotic with a 7.8 there. Like, what the fuck? That's psychotic.
That actually kind of is, and would hurt my feelings if all these people weren't, you know. Like, I wish I could empathize with Seto, and I can't wait to see the OG girl he ends up with. I really shouldn't be dragging Ballet Empress, because she truly is the only stan of this story.
She's reading.
Yeah. Oh, Butt Lover 81 said, "You're lucky. I love butts because this whole fan fiction is made of butts." I take back what I said. I'm sorry, Ballet Empress. You're out here killing it. I'm sorry.
You might want to pause there because I just clicked on Ballet Empress's profile. Her first story is Kaiba's Prostitute. When Seto Kaiba propositions Joan, she expects a one-night stand, but he and his brother keep coming back for more.
No.
Now the Kaiba brothers want an heir from her and will pay any price to get it. How do Joan's husband and boyfriend feel about their new profession? More importantly, how do they handle public scrutiny? Polyamory. Count on lemons.
My God. And this bitch has 83 chapters and 100 reviews. Like, she's clearly doing something I am not. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait. That's... So those are her favorite stories. She's a lurker. See? So she didn't produce this. Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. But also she's lurking on this story.
Right. She has a hunger for a certain type of content that I think she's hoping my story will go down, because there is a dating competition element, and so maybe she's thinking Seto will hire a prostitute to win this competition. But that's not where we're going here. Oh, no. Oh, God. Which I knew would happen. I'm like, if I go and make a story about Seto and Joey, and I talk about how they have this whole little relationship competition, everyone's going to think that they're just going to end up boinking each other, because puppy shipping is real, and there's a huge fandom for it, and I hate it, because I don't think it's real. I do not think Joey and Seto want to boink each other. I think they very much hate each other. But, yeah, I don't think I'm producing the content she's ultimately going to be looking for. I'm sorry, Empress.
I know you don't want to associate yourself with the Sonic subculture, but I'm enjoying this whole other look into the fanfiction subculture. Like,
wait, what?
Girl.
What are you looking at?
Just you and your reviewers and what your reviewers like looking at. It's so good.
I mean, there's a story in here called Hello Kitty Kaiba. And the description, despite the title, it is not a crossover. Oh, okay. So Hello Kitty doesn't show up? Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are fucking liars. Oh my God. It's business as usual in the Yu-Gi-Oh world. Monsters are attacking. Yugi and friends are about to save the day, and Kaiba is their reluctant ally. Friendship and trust seem irrelevant until a cat-headed goddess decides to meddle. What? You're telling me Hello Kitty doesn't show the fuck up in this episode? Obviously, AU. This person, one of their favorite stories is by Iced Blood, who you know I'm a stan because he's a good Seto brother fluff writer. Is this guy still writing?
I didn't know that. I don't know who Iced Blood is. Do I know Iced Blood?
Yeah, remember I was like, oh yeah, we used to message each other, and he's big in the Yu-Gi-Oh fandom, specifically with Seto Kaiba. Remember we talked, you're like, oh my God.
I love that you think that I remember the name. I remember you talking about this though, yeah.
Yeah, I think I got edited out because it was nonsense and had no place in the podcast. I love that you're editing out your memories though. You're like, oh yeah, if it's not relevant to the podcast, we don't talk about it, which is fine by me. Oh my God, Ice Blood. I should check in with him. Would he ever give me a shout out? He has high key fanfiction engagement.
He does. 35 chapters and 253 reviews. But hold on, how many of those reviews are just throwaway reviews?
Yeah, check it out.
Damn you. Please continue this wonderful piece of art. Don't let it die.
Oh, you're joking. You made that up.
Somebody said that. I'm not joking. 2019.
This guy fucking is so good.
Okay, hold on.
He
Somebody
really is a
said,
good writer.
I spent the past months reading your massive library of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fics, starting from Twist of Fate, going through the various one-shots, starting and finishing Paved with Good Intentions, and catching up to the latest updates on Blue Eyes, Violet Eyes, and Lightbringer. I really enjoyed Cemetery Dance. Not gonna lie, I cried. And then I sat stewing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Feelings, thinking I should write you a review, but I just wasn't sure what to say. I'm really impressed by all your Yu-Gi-Oh! Fics, and it was really cool to see how your plots and characterizations evolved over time, since I read them pretty much in chronological order from oldest to newest. I really like how you have reoccurring OCs throughout your fics. It made it even more enjoyable to read your works, since you fleshed out your own characters so well along with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cast. I decided to leave my review on this particular fic because I guess it's the one I'm hoping to read and update for the most. It has a pretty unique alternate universe and feels like a big departure from the rest of your Yu-Gi-Oh! Work, which I guess is why I'm particularly intrigued by this one. Also, maybe I just like seeing Kid Seto being friends with Yugi. LOL. I wish I had something more substantial to say. I just really loved reading your fics. Okay, as if she wasn't just like, or whoever this person is, wasn't just like, I've read your entire work and I fucking love it. Everything from character development to this alternate universe that you just created.
Right. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So he's got some real reviews.
Yes. I won't even shit all over him because he really is a good writer, and Paved with Good Intentions is a really good fic. And also, if you Googled Hikari Mokuba's Guardian to see what would come up, and it just is my fanfiction profile, and then it's also these fanfiction recommendations. So I do show up on exactly one, fanfiction recommendations, and I'm right above Iced Blood. Iced Blood has a lot more bullet points than I do of reasons why you should read him. But would you like to read to the audience what it says for why people should read my stories?
Yeah, so it's from a website called tvtropes.org, I guess. So I don't know what that's about.
Official.org, hello.
Hikari Mokuba's Guardian, recommended by the Maniac in the Mailbox. And it says, for all those Kaiba Brother fans, this author has written all about them. She takes us into some pretty creative and intense plots between the two. She never does anything too mature, but her stories are great anyways. Try starting with For Your Protection.
There you go. And that, my friends, is the reason why I get up every day. It's for that one person who said, I don't get too mature.
So, Ice Blood, following right after that, recommended by Golden Dragon 326. They say, Ice Blood has written many Yu-Gi-Oh! Stories with the main characters almost always being the Kaiba brothers. He focuses on the brotherhood of the two. Incest will never come into play, never in all caps. Next bullet. He has a few one-shots peeking into their lives at various time frames, some stories that look at the interactions between Seto and Yugi, some poetry, and numerous actual stories. Noah comes in a few times, though it's mainly Seto and Mokuba. Iced Blood is a brilliant writer, and any reader can feel the depth of the emotions between the two brothers. They've been through a lot together, and he manages to show this without going out of character. To any Kaiba Brother fans, this is the author to check out. I don't know who is writing the reviews for this man, but this is in depth. Like, he has got a following that love to write about his entire collection of fanfic. The most I get with yours is you never get too mature, but they're great anyways.
Yeah, literally just, if you like the Kaiba brothers, she writes all about them, and she has creative and intense plots, but that's it. They're great.
And I don't know, maybe yours falls into incest. I mean, like, they make it very explicit.
I knew you were going to be like, oh, his explicitly says never any incest. Where's your all caps never? There's never incest in my stories. Never, never, never. Not in the 85 stories I've ever written have these two fucking brothers done anything like that. Or anything that would ever suggest that, but how come I don't get an all caps? Just a little note, you know? Nothing too mature, also no incest. We stand. Nope. Okay. That privilege goes to Ice Blood and Ice Blood only. All right. I'm just the idiot that's dedicated my life to these two brothers. How dare they think that I made them do... Oh, this new story he wrote, though, Kick a Hole in the Sky, which, what the fuck, but okay. It looks really good. I should really read it. Oh, I like how he does the chapter divides with the line break and then the number and then the line break again. I might steal that.
Oh my god.
I'm literally gonna steal his format. Oh, wow.
You should
We've
invite
learned
him
a
to
lot
our
today.
podcast.
Huh?
You should invite him to our podcast.
Dude, the clout? Wait, do you dare me? Is this like Terra Sands where you're like, oh, we
Girl.
should, and then we don't do it, or should we do it?
Okay, I don't feel as bad about this one.
This guy hasn't been on TV, Alana. Like, he's big in a very subset community, which you should be big given how much time you put in, but no.
Okay, let me go into a little bit more detail here. You want to interview Terra Sands because she was the voice of Mokuba and Bulbasaur, but what are we going to talk to her about?
We can do our series. Like, how is it being a voice actor, right? No?
Yeah, I guess you have a point, because then we can do the same thing with the fan fiction writer, but the fact of the matter is you are a fan fiction writer, and you guys have a lot of overlapping interests, so we could actually talk intelligently about some things. Whereas, honestly, one of the questions I want to ask Tara if she ever comes on is, what was it like to say the words Bulbasaur multiple times throughout the episodes that you were on? What was the range of emotion that you had to show for these episodes? Like,
my god.
There's just, yeah,
Wait.
like, and that's it. So,
Wait, am I literally not following him on... I just found him, I think this is him, on Tumblr. I'm wondering how I message him. Oh my god, am I gonna private message him on fucking fanfiction.net?
if he comes on, the last time he updated that Kick a Hole in the Sky story was last year.
Shit. Do you dare me?
Girl, maybe that could be the kickoff to our spin-off series.
Yeah. Wait, but where's email? He would check email, maybe. Oh, can you not email people anymore? You used to be able to email people. Now I think the private message is to create distance.
Why didn't you write a review?
Publicly
on
say,
Kick a Hole in the Sky?
Hey, love this. Would you like to be on our podcast? I think I should private message him.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Should I just write this right now? Invite to a podcast. A popular podcast. We get them with the popular. Hi there. You may remember me from our emails 15 years ago, but I... Okay, wait, hold on. Also, I'm so sorry. Are you starving? You want to go, don't you?
I am.
Oh,
I am,
yeah,
but
let me let you go.
I'm invested in this, but
How about I'll write this up and I'll send you a screenshot and then we'll decide if I hit send.
Okay, we'll do it.
Oh my god. I'm like shook right now because he is a celebrity in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Kaiba Brothers like fan fiction community, so I'm a little shook.
And this is why I can't take Tara too seriously.
I know that is like way beyond me, but this, I think the possibilities are imaginable here.
You could talk to him about stuff. Like, yeah. I'll be like, why don't you write any lemons? Why is that a big thing of yours?
Never incest. How come Alana didn't get that as a recommendation? I feel like this is a whole new concept. This is a whole new avenue. What if we just drag fanfiction writers? Is that mean? Or is that brilliant?
Oh.
I mean, Kaiba's prostitute. That is a title, Francis. So giving them free promo. Think about it that way. Promo.
Except we're also dragging them, so I don't know.
True. I guess you're right.
I know. I know.
Okay.
We should be spreading kindness, not hatred.
That's true.
We shouldn't be bullying people.
Trump isn't president anymore. We can't be advertising that kind of
Yeah.
behavior. You're right. But anyway, lemon soup. Okay, moving on. This has been a brilliant episode. Oh my god, I love you. This was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I laughed
really
so
was.
hard. This is hilarious, and I can't wait to see how this all shapes up for a podcast episode. It's so brilliant. I love it. Thank you.
Same here. That's it for our show, folks. I'm Francis.
And I'm Alana, and you can find us on Instagram at HQAF.productions. We post every other week.
And you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts.
And until next time,
The best ship to sail on is friendship.